You're listening to the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast, where we empower women of faith to identify, acknowledge, and accept their doubts and limits and beliefs in order to give birth to their God-given purpose. Join me and sometimes some of my friends on our journey as we remind you that you are not alone. I'm Felicia Wallace, and together we will find our fears and slay them. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast. It's your girl Felicia Wallace. I am so excited, you guys, for this episode because I have some major announcements, some big stuff. But first, as always, I need to welcome all of the new listeners. Thank you so much for hopping on this Slaying Self-Doubt train. I don't know how you got here, whether it was listening to a guest episode or maybe you just stumbled upon this podcast and you decided to listen today. And I hope that you continue to listen. But I just want to say thank you for being here. If there's anything that resonates with you, please let me know. You can share it, rate it, review it, send me a DM. You can email me, whatever you need to do to just tell me that, something in this episode or in any of these episodes resonated with you. And I would just be so grateful. Thank you to my continued listeners. You guys have been showing up. Some of my day ones, y'all that's been listening, who has already been posting, already been sharing, those who have been telling their friends, because those friends are sliding in my DMs like, oh, so-and-so told me about your show and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, oh, for real? Oh, thank you so much. But no, for real, I'm so grateful for it. And when I get to these announcements, you gonna know why, okay? I had someone reach out to me to ask me whether or not there was a way that they could support me other than listening to the episode or buying another shirt. But what I did, and I did tell them that there's a way that you can donate to support Slaying Self-Doubt, the podcast, and or the movement. There is a donate now button in the show notes if you would like to donate something, whatever's on your heart, whatever it is. I appreciate it. I understand that everybody doesn't want merchandise, everybody doesn't want to buy a product. Some people just really want to give towards something, and so that is a way that you can do that. And so I thank you in advance if that is on your heart and it's something that you want to do. And I appreciate the person asking me, because otherwise I would have never even thought to even find an alternative to allow people to support me. That is something that I'm working on. I sometimes feel like, oh, I don't need anything else. Like, you listening is enough, but also knowing that, no, this is what you're being called to do. And if God wants to bless you in another type of way and wants to allow someone else to bless you, that I need to have my hands open to receive it. So again, if you feel like you want to donate, but it doesn't want to be via, purchasing anything, there is a donate now button. And again, like I said before, I appreciate it in advance. Thank you so much. So the wins of this week, y'all, I got some big ones. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, before I go to the wins, I want to thank everybody who's watching me on YouTube right now. God told me to put this on YouTube, and I was just like, I don't know whether or not that's what I want to do, but I see y'all. I see y'all seeing me. We see each other. So if you did not know that I'm on YouTube, these solo episodes right now are being broadcasted on YouTube as well. So you can see my face while I'm talking. Okay. So when you're trying to figure out like what my hands is doing and how my energy is, you can see me and I can see you. Okay. So just thank y'all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Now to the wins. So y'all, first of all, this is episode 100. I don't have a da 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 or like drop the bomb thing. I'll work on that later. But this is episode 100, y'all. This is a big freaking deal, okay? Because episode one, it took me forever to record and even publish. And when I was writing down, like, okay, what's February going to look like? What are we going to get into? And I wrote down today's episode. I said, it's episode 100. It's a proud moment for me. I'm proud of myself for pushing myself, even in the times that I wanted to quit, even in the times that I was like, I'm gonna skip this week and I'm going to. I am proud of myself that I stayed consistent, persistent, and just kept moving forward and doing God's will. So this is evident that if you just keep moving, you'll reach 100 one day. Okay, just keep moving, y'all. The next thing is another milestone. So we also this week hit 20,000 downloads. So remember when I told y'all in the beginning of this that I'm so grateful that you guys continue to show up? That is the reason why. Because guess what? At the end of December, I hit 18,000 downloads. The first week of January, I hit 19,000. January ain't even over yet, y'all. It's literally 30 days later. So in less and so I'm over 20,000 actually. So in less than 30 days, y'all have gotten me to 20,000 downloads, and I am so, so, so grateful. So thank you so much. When I tell you that those things, it mean the world to me, like, because there was a period of time that I thought nobody was going to listen. So to know that people are listening, and at least 20,000 people, 20,000 downloads, however it's happening, I am grateful. I'm thankful for it, and I appreciate you. With that also being said, so another big thing that happened this week, if you follow me on Instagram, which you should be, at Slaying Self Doubt, I realized randomly, right, that I had finally completed a certification that I was doing through Cornell University, funded by Bank of America, for women entrepreneurship, women in leadership. I think it's women entrepreneurship certificate. And I explained in a video that I did that I, kind of signed up because someone else said something. I thought it would be a good idea, not realizing that I was also going to be doing the coaching later on. And so when I told my husband, I was like, didn't even realize how much work I had been doing in the last 6 months. And there was a period of time, like when I was working, and I would like, oh, you should go back to school. You should do this. You should do that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I should do it. But it wasn't really, it was giving me nothing. Okay. But there is a difference of doing the work when you're passionate about it and you're doing something that's going to lead you closer and closer to your purpose. For me, I enjoyed every single day that I had to be with my coaching class. I actually enjoyed doing the certificate program, which is the same thing as like doing schoolwork through because it was an online course. So it's just like doing it, you got to answer the question, respond to at least two classmates, stuff like that. So I knew the routine, and it was something that before I probably would have been like, oh, it was so daunting. But to really realize that, like, I did it, I completed it, it wasn't as stressful. I learned something both professionally and personally through doing all of this. I'm super proud of myself for completing that. And then just allowing myself to celebrate it, right? And the way I celebrated was once I realized that was it, I closed my laptop and I laid down. I had some other stuff I needed to do, that, commitments or whatever, but I was like, I'm not doing no more work. This is how I'm gonna celebrate. I completed that assignment. That is it. I'm done for the rest of the day. And then we'll start over the next day. So I'm super proud of myself this week. At the beginning of this week, I was like, I feel, something about resting and resetting, and I feel like it's gonna be a productive week. And it has been thus far. And I'm just so, so, so grateful. Um, One of the things before we get into today, the next thing before we get into today's topic is that I have told y'all plenty of times on here that, procrastination is my thing. We talked about that last week. And a lot of times that is how my self-doubt shows up. Also, I've talked about how I am terrible with accountability, because once I say something or tell people about it, like, I don't really want people holding me accountable. And so it's easier for me to keep it to myself, because then only I know, and Jesus. um and so I have been talking to you all about this group coaching, and God told me, girl, if you don't put a date on it, it's not going to happen. You keep saying within the first quarter. Within the first quarter could be March 31st, right? And he's been like, you're ready. And I was just like, I don't know if I'm ready. And he kept saying, you're ready. And I don't know if I'm ready. You know how we do, y'all. We like, but what if this don't happen? What if that don't happen? What, I need one more thing. And he literally told me, you don't need not another thing, sis, not another thing. So March 1st, I will be launching the group coaching. So if you are not already on the list for group coaching, you need to get on right now, because it's happening, whether you like it or not. it is happening. And this the so what I can tell you about it, because it's still in progress with me and the Lord, because that's why I keep saying I'm not ready, because I'm like, you ain't really downloaded enough in me, and he's saying I got enough, but it just need clarity. But what I can tell you is that we're going to take these conversations that we've been having on the show and the questions that I've been posing to you, in a different type of way in these groups for us to dig deeper. And so if you feel like, or you know someone who is struggling from self-doubt, who is struggling in some sort of imposter syndrome, who has insecurities, who has these fears that is stopping them from walking into their purpose or becoming the best version of themselves, you need to be in these coaching sessions, because we will support each other around this thing. And really empower and encourage each other to show up as our best selves every single day. So if you feel like that this is something that you want to be connected, you want to be a part of, join the wait list so that you will know, because when the doors open, they will close, because it is a limited amount of people. Let me say that very clearly. There is a limited amount of people, because sis knows her capacity, right? This is some soul work for me, and I know I can't touch everybody, and so God has given me a limit. So if you are not in that limit, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait till the next time the Lord says the doors of the church is open. Okay. So I'm just telling you right now, you might want to get on the first round, because I got to wait for the Lord to tell me to open the doors again. So again, March 1st, I am saying it. You hear it, you see me saying it. It is a reminder for myself that this will actually be happening. So sign up. Go ahead and join the wait list today. Okay. Just go to the website, go do that, go in the show notes, click it, sign up. You just need to put your name and your email, and that is it. Um, Last week we talked about self-doubt showing up in your daily life. This week I posed a question about how self-doubt has affected your relationships, and I got more personal responses, like DMs, than I did publicly, because I told y'all I knew this was a heavy question when I wrote it. I was just like, I don't know, and somebody was like, "Ooh, that's deep," and I said, "Yeah, you're right, that is deep." And I realized in that moment that a lot of times people don't realize how self doubt has actually affected their relationships. And I had a couple of people who, a lot of people said the same thing. Not feeling worthy, right? They felt like they needed other people's approval, looking for validation, comparing themselves to, and remember, when I'm saying relationships, I'm saying all marriage, friendships, sisterhoods, family, co-workers, all of that. So it's not just about a dating relationship, it's all types of things. Um, Somebody said allowing other people to push them in a certain direction that they really didn't want to go. But it really boiled down to, that's how it affected her relationships, but it boiled down to her insecurities, right? So her self-doubt of her insecurities of how she felt about herself, that's how it affected her relationship. And so what I want to do, and I'm going to give you my answer today to how it's affected my relationships in the way. So there's three ways for me that it has shown up and how it's affected it. What I'm going to do in February, though, y'all, we're going to break down these relationships. So I want you to stay tuned to the questions that are going to come on Instagram, and also the podcast, because we're going to talk about marriage and your dating relationships. We're going to talk about how self doubt shows up in your parenting, in your friendships, in your I wrote it down, y'all. Friendships, marriage, parenting. Oh, and your relationship with God. How y'all smacked? Because I got a lot of stuff on this list. But yeah, how it shows up, because for me, I feel like once I know, we talked about this, like how self-doubt shows up for you in your daily life, how it shows up, how do you define it? We talked about all those things, identifying your fears. I think that if we don't realize, one of the things that we've all said, or I've said on here a lot of times, how your community is and your tribe, it's important. They are important to you. But if you don't realize how you're bringing your self-doubt into those relationships, you don't realize the damage you may be doing by either blocking your blessing and allowing other people to be able to pour into you, or how you may be blocking your blessing and pouring into somebody else because of your own doubts and your own insecurities. So we're going to break that down for the month of February, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, we'll get to that. But for today, I'm going to talk about overall how self-doubt has affected my relationships. So for me, my self doubt, I've told you all, is feeling insecure. The biggest thing was about my face, right? And just feeling like I wasn't worthy, feeling like I was inadequate, in comparing myself to other people. And it shows up to me, how it affected it is that one of the biggest ways is that I question people's intentions. What does that look like, right? And I know somebody was like, ooh, yes, I question people's intentions. Because of my insecurity, I was in the habit of always thinking that somebody had some type of negative connotation, or was looking to get something from me. Like I had to perform in order to earn their friendship, or to earn their relationship with me, or to earn their companionship, whatever that looked like. My worthiness of how I felt about myself, and how I was questioning my adequacy as a friend, as a sister, as a girlfriend, as a wife. It showed up as questioning the other person's intentions. Now, what that does, the effect of that is that if I'm questioning your intentions, I can't even see you, right? Because every single thing that you do, I'm wondering if it's genuine. Every single thing that you do, I'm literally trying to figure out like what's going on, which means I'm not being present. I'm not actually in the relationship. I'm quick to response, right? I'm quick to have a comeback and be like, well, that maybe that's because of this, that, and the third. Or, I found myself being in situations where I may not have said it out loud, but now I'm internalizing, like, I mean, well, they said this, but do they really mean that? Like, how could they possibly truly, truly love me for who I am, or say that I'm this type of way, or say that they truly care about me when, I got this going on, and then I'm questioning them, but it don't have nothing to do with them, right? So a big example for me is that even currently right now within my marriage, um, for a very long time, when my husband would say that, he thought I was beautiful, or he thought I look nice, or whatever the case may be, I would be like, do you really? That'd be your answer, right? Like, do you really? And it'd be like, yeah. And so it'd be like, you can't really like me because look at my fupa, right? Or look at my crooked face, right? Or I gained all this weight from the time that you met me. And he would be like, okay, like legit would be like, all right, like I know that. So what does that mean? You mean to tell me I can't still think that you sexy? I can't still think that you look good? And then now I'm arguing him down about what he said to me because I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. What kind of sense do that make? It makes no sense, but it's my self doubt that was showing up as being like he can't truly mean that he can't truly believe what he's telling me. He just hyping me up. And the thing about it is that how much time did I lose questioning my husband's intentions of telling me how much he cared about me by combating it with my self doubt instead of just receiving it, receiving the love? Because what happens then is, then no matter what he says after that, it goes, you just kind of dig yourself into a hole and you are now questioning everything. He say dinner is good. Is it really good? Do it taste like do it taste like Outback wings? Do it taste like roof Chris steak? Like now you questioning everything you're doing because you feel insecure about your thing. And so having these conversations about how it affects your relationship and how it shows up in your relationships are so important, because what are you missing out on? In that example that I just gave you, the expectation is that if my husband is supposed to love me, and and if I'm expecting him to love me flaws and all, as the song goes, you want your love to, they love you flaws and all. Is that true? Do I really want him to love my flaws, or am I just saying that? You know what I mean? Like, and if I don't accept that he is actually loving what I consider to be a flaw, then how what kind of harm am I putting in my marriage? Because then how many is he gonna want to say anything else to me? No, he probably ain't gonna want to give me no more compliments. Then what's gonna happen? Then I'll be like, you ain't saying nothing nice about me in about 30 days. And he's like, well, the last time I said something nice about you, you told me I was wrong. oh yeah, you're right. But you can say something now. You like, what do you want? What do you want? My husband always say like, talking to me is like walking on landmine. He just don't know. And I'd be like, you know what? We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I just told him, I was like, it's me, it's not you. I'm legit, it is me having to deal with my insecurities and having to deal with how they show up in my marriage. And I have to allow you to love me and not question that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he loves me, even with my crooked face. But why do I still question that he loves me with my crooked face? Why do I continue to make the fact that I have Bell's palsy an issue? He's never said anything about it. It's never come up in conversation. He's never not cared for me. It's like it's not a thing to him. So why am I making it a thing? So it's this is the part of the work that we're doing to slaying our self-doubt, right? Because if you don't know how you're showing up in your relationships, you don't know the damage that you're doing. And so having this conversation really puts us in a place to be able to show up differently for the people that you say you love, right? Whether it's your kids, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friendships, whether it's your significant other, whether it's your coworkers, whether it's your employees, whether it's your management, how you show up makes a difference with them, and it allows people to be able to be in community with you easier if they don't have to be like, well, can I say this, because I'm not sure whether or not she going, like, how can they be genuine with you if you're not open enough to receive it? So that was just one thing for me that I felt like me being transparent and where it was coming from for me. Like, I hope that it helped you. If it did, please let me know. Again, you can email me at info@FeliciaWallace.com, or you can slide in my DMs and let me know if if it resonated with you, or as well, like how self-doubt has affected your relationships. And again, tune in for February as we break down these relationships and we really talk about like what it looks like. Like, and for me, it's going to be very very transparent. To Is that a word? I don't know. It's going to be very transparent for me, because breaking down each of these things is going to be something that I'm going to have to then fix. Because here's the thing, y'all, it ain't no point for us to be talking about it if we're not going to do nothing about it. If you just going to say it out loud, but you're not going to, intentionally try to be better, what's the point? Like, what are we doing here? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So again, today we talked about how self-doubt affects your relationships. I told you that for me, it came from, the feeling of inadequacy and unworthiness. I questioned people's intentions and whether or not they were being genuine, and how that affected my relationships is that it did not allow me to receive the kind things that people were saying, or the loving things that my husband wanted to be able to tell me, because of my insecurities. And so I'm going to show up different, because I want to receive all the love, okay? All of it. So as we close out, remember to join the waitlist for the group coaching that will launch March 1st, 2021. If you are unsure as to whether or not you would benefit from this, you can book a free intro call with me. It's about 15 minutes. We'll just talk it out. You can ask me whatever question you want to ask me, like what about coaching, whether or not, if you want to ask my opinion, or whether or not you would be able to receive something from it. Go ahead and go to the website, and you can book a free intro call for me, 15 minutes. We'll just talk about it, and you can decide if it's something that you would benefit from. So until next week, see ya. We end every episode with the serenity prayer, and it goes as follows. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, y'all, that's all for this week. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review. Remember to head over to Facebook and Instagram and follow me at Slaying Self-Doubt. Oh, wait, don't forget, go to my YouTube channel and watch this episode, and remember to press the subscribe button. Until next week, see ya.